now coming into the second year of our Construction Seed project. In the first year we really focused on progressing 16 to 18 learners that were infilled into adult groups. We were concerned about them because their achievement data wasn't as good as their adult peers. So this meant that there was something fundamentally going wrong there. So we spent a year really putting together a research project. It culminated in some better achievement rates, but we knew where we wanted to make some changes. So at the beginning of this year, the 16-17 academic year, we rolled those out, and we were fortunate enough to get 2 extra hours as a tutorial, and because one of the issues that was raised, that was flagged up from last year, was the fact that there was a lack of team cohesion with this group of learners. The reason for that was that they were spread out on different days doing different courses. They didn't even come together for their maths or English, so they didn't really know that anyone else on their group. There could be just 1 or 2 in a group. So the idea was to bring them all together on a Thursday morning from 10 till 12, and that's what we did. Yeah.
Well, the idea behind it was to help the students with their numeracy and English, incorporating into or contextualising it to industry. The plan was to build 3 chalets, and this started from the classroom where they drew it out to scale, working out how much materials they needed, what different types of flooring was involved, different types of roof structures that were involved, and then we chose one, and then we put that into fruition down in the workshop where the students were actually building frames to build the chalets, and working to the calculations that they've made.
The shared project that the students were involved in on a Thursday session from 10 till 12 worked well, and it worked well for the first sort of 8 weeks. But what we started to notice was that students weren't getting through their exams. Now the idea of them being here is them to get qualified, so we had to reflect and change our research project now, and it's turned into much more of an education-based project. We needed to know how students learned best individually, and that meant across 20 plus learners, and that's what we started to do. And we monitored them, and we worked with them very, very closely, myself and James Crowley and Ria from Student Liaison Team.
You guys used our team really effectively, and if that hadn't been done properly, if there hadn't been that student support to your team, teaching team, communication, I don't think it would have been able to have been, because I knew what was going on every day.
We logged each activity we were doing with the student on a shared spreadsheet through Google Sheets. And that meant that every teacher that was connected with the project, there were 7 teachers in all, could actually see how each learner learned best, what they were responding best to.
My role within the Seed Action Research Project was to create that link between the learners and the teaching team, and often the parents as well, and to break down those barriers in communication with the students and the teaching team, and to engage the students and to support them in being more motivated so that they could attend effectively.
I think we learned early in the process that every one of the students that we were working with this project learned differently. So some students work better working online, using e-learning platforms, doing online revision tests. Other learners learn better using flashcards, breaking it down so they identify the vocabulary.
As a teacher, I learned an awful lot. We've had a real strong focus on ILT over the last few years, and blogs for adult learners and flipped learning, and we've really focused on that. And sometimes you can forget that some learners don't respond particularly well to these types of learning and these sorts of online platforms for different reasons. And so we had to sort of go back to our sort of teacher training roots and create some more resources, often paper-based resources, things like flashcards, and the students responded really, really well to that.
When I'm working with Emily, she helped me make my own flashcards so I can put down stuff in it, and that helps me remember stuff. They're really good. It's a good idea, so yeah, it works.
And the other thing they responded to was actually getting out and about, and if we were talking about a different type of roof or a part of a roof, it was actually better that we all went down to carpentry and had a look at it and labelled it with post-it notes, and then went back to the room. So we were sort of going back to almost how we were doing it a while ago, but and students really responded to that. So it was really about a range of different resources that met each learner's needs. And we called this hyper-differentiation because as we started to list them all and match them across to student names on the spreadsheet, we knew we were onto something good.
Yeah, a health and safety test, I've done that about 3 times before I passed. And the building principle, it's my first time doing it, and I passed it, so and I got a distinction, so I'm happy. Yeah.
We set up a WhatsApp group because we found it was a really effective form of communication. It was communication form that they understood, and it helped them to stay connected. It served as a reminder for the students to know where they were supposed to be and if there was any information they needed to access. And it also helped those who lacked confidence in communicating because they could be part of the group without being involved but being aware of what was going on. And as a result of participating together, the reward was that they were able to go to Thorpe Park and it was paid for them.
Because I didn't pass my test, I ended up didn't go in. But it was alright because at the end of the day, it helps me. It helps me, what's the word? It helps me to pass my test and to revise more. Yeah, and to push myself even harder.
Okay, moving forward, we're looking at introducing earlier assessments of learners in order to put an individualised learning plan in place for all our young learners to ensure that they have the best chance to succeed.
As we reflect now, as we come towards the end of the second year of our cycle and we move on to the third year, we'll still be focusing on study programme learners. And I look back on this year and we're really, really pleased with the results. We're starting to make an impact now. We're starting to move, I believe, towards best practice. The research that we did was, we shared it. I was a keynote speaker at the AOC Professional Exchange this year, and was really well received. And it was noted that how well it was going, the research. So we're buoyed up with that, and we're very, very keen to keep going with it. I think next year we'll be keeping going with the same things, implementing perhaps more stuff around maths and English and including that and working with those teams, but essentially our key focus will be on 16 to 18 learners and ensuring that their outcomes are on par with adult learners.
When I come back, this time I'll take it serious. Do all my work, my revision, my tests, try to pass everything and not wait until the last minute. Try past them. So, yeah, come back stronger.